Well, hello and welcome to a new video on the YouTube channel. I create to keep my sanity level setting as is acceptable. I'm confused than usual. We are playing Pokemon HeartGold today, a game which is supposed to teach us how to have a heart made of gold. Good luck with that. The game starts with Professor Oak explaining in what kind of crazy world we're about to be dunked in. While he's wearing a gold jacket, you gotta feel the drip. Next is character creation, and oh boy, look at that magnificent hat. Name. Her real name is Kotone, and now it's time for some cultural exchange. You see, a Japanese koto apparently is a 13-string Japanese zither. And since we are talking in the anime language, you can add a ne at the end of every sentence and it still makes perfect sense. So zither it is. In every Pokemon game, we wake up in our room. And this time, our furniture is reasonably placed. Except for the bed. Only psychopaths sleep like this. Also, stop trying to sell me useless Nintendo consoles. We get down to greet our mother. Hi, zither.
Finally awake.
She said the thing even before it became a meme. The professor next door would like to see us, which is not creepy at all considering we are just 10 years old. But okay, there's the Pokemon lab. And who is this? I knew it, this game is full of creeps and perverts. Not my problem though. Professor Elm calls us over to give us an important task, to get some eggs for his breakfast. But since we are underage, we are getting paid in toys and pets. Are you going to pick Cyndaquil or Totodile? Well, neither, because Chikorita has a lot of unique advantages the other two starter Pokemon don't have. So I named it Plant, because whenever I feel lonely I can simply plant to grow more plants out of plant. After receiving some potions and took a look back at the pervert, we are finally off. What? My mobile phone? Fine. And our mother doesn't care that we have a talking plant following us. Just remember your parents' reaction when you asked to keep that one stray cat you brought with you on your way home from school. And off. We get the private phone number of this creepy adult. Totally not strange. What's equally not strange is that in the next town we are guided through town by this random old guy who at the end wants to give us his shoes. Disgusting. Better leave as long as we can. After a short walk through the forest in the middle of the night, we arrive at Mr. Pokemon's house, who is the one responsible for Professor Elm's breakfast. We also meet Professor Oak. You forgot your golden jacket, by the way. And then we get his phone number too. Better get used to this. On our way back we meet the guy who peeked into the lab. Perfect timing to explain how this game works. Enemy trainer calls his Pokemon, we call our Pokemon, we crush his Pokemon, and then we take his money. Perfectly legal. You dropped your ID, by the way. Good luck on your journey. Rushing back to the lab where we can find the rarest creature in the Pokemon universe, an actual policeman. One Pokemon got stolen. Red-haired guy. I know him. He dropped his ID and I just gave it back to him. Name. I don't remember his name. So I panicked and named him Ziver. Better clear this mistake. Wait. That name looks odd. Pretty sure I named our character Ziver and not Liar. Maybe our IDs got swapped. Let's look for him and explain this mistake. But first we should capture a Pokemon which is actually capable of protecting us from all those. An owl. An owl is a predator after all. So I caught it and named it Apex. Now he's an Apex Predator. A little further up the road, and Apex already proved his worth by killing his other trainer's rat. Such a good boy. Would I like to have your number? Also Apex is good at killing bugs. Not a lot of serious Pokemon trainers out here. Only some bug catchers. Kinda like hobbyists. We arrive in Violet City. A city in which we have quite some things to do. Like visiting the local gym. Or the Bellsprout Tower. I just want to point out that there are way better Pokemon to worship. But at least Apex can prove he is also good at killing plants. We arrive at the top after defeating all the employees. It's almost like fist fighting a monk in a temple. Oh look, it's Liar, and he calls himself Zitter. But before I could explain anything to him, he warps away. The other thing is the local gym specializes in flying type Pokemon, which are strong against grass type Pokemon like Plant. However, there's this guy who hates the local gym, so he's willing to trade us an Onix for a Bellsprout. What a deal. But I already have a grass type Pokemon and it would be stupid to catch another one. Hey man, may I take your Onix for a second to have a better look at it? The light in here is a little off. Alright, let's do this. Probably a bad time to tell you I'm afraid of heights. Doesn't matter because these birds are afraid of stones. Badge number 1 secured. Next stop, Professor Elm. Egg. Do I look like an egg breeding machine? Just hand it over. Stupid. Who is that? Not only adult men are approaching us, also middle-aged women want our attention. Let's get to the next town quickly. There's this dancing tree blocking the way and sadly we cannot throw rocks at it. That worked pretty good so far. In that case, we just have to use the other way. But we're getting approached by this guy who asks us if we want to have his miracle seed. On this route I caught a Wooper for later, which I named Surfboard, obviously. And further down in Union Cave, Pokemon trainers have some kind of union or an organization which protects our rights as Pokemon trainer. Anyway, I caught a female Sandshrew, which I named Her Majesty. You know, short form is HM. On the other side of the cave, we not only have one of the shortest rainstorms ever, we also witness a grown man running away from a fight. What a coward. We arrive in Azalea Town, in which there's this one tough guy named Kurt, and he is going to save the Slowpokes. Alright, you will do that, and I will beat the gym in the meantime. The Azalea gym is a bug-type gym, which is the easiest type to beat. Let me show you. Listen here, Bugsy. It's the year 2025. I have arachnophobia, acrophobia, and bathophobia, and you have to respect that. You made me cross these deep black holes on a spider without any form of safety precaution. This experience caused many severe traumas in my underage brain, from which I will probably never recover from. And I will sue you for this. Or you could just give me that badge. And that's how you do it. What a coincidence, it's Liar. Hey man, and without any explanation he forced us to do a Pokemon battle. In certain areas this could get him shot, but I killed his Pokepets instead. Ilex Forest, where we meet this kid who lost his wood chopping Farfetch'd, and he wants my help to find them so he doesn't have to do the work. I certainly could just find them for you, but then you wouldn't learn anything, so we'll do a little competition. If you find them first, you can keep them, but if I find them first, I will make us some fine classic chicken roast. What do you say? See, it wasn't so difficult to find them. And his master even gave me the HM for cut, so I can cut down all the trees myself. Her Majesty will happily do this. A little further into the forest and we meet this kimono lady again, and she got lost in the forest that actually only has one way. I know an attempted robbery when I see one. So we leave the forest, skip everything on this route because there's nothing important on it, and we reach Goldenrod City. Finally some basic civilization again. Unfortunately the Goldenrod City gym leader is currently absent to win a radio card. Who cares about advertisements in between music I don't want to listen to? In order to get her back so I can beat her, I did the only logical thing. I went to the radio station and tried to win the radio card myself. It's not like the city has the only large department store in the entire region and most likely a cheap radio in stock. A quiz? That's not a problem. Question 1. Can you check the town map with the Pokegear? Lady, I'm playing games in this franchise since I was able to hold a Game Boy. I know this map by heart. Question 2. Nidorina can only be female. True. Are you being sexist right now? Question 3. Kurt, the Pokeball creator, uses apricots as ingredients. I don't know what Pokeballs are made of. I just throw them at live animals and hope they stay inside. Question 4. It is impossible to use a TM on Magikarp. True. Considering how annoying HMs are, it is quite beneficial for Pokemon to not be able to learn any TMs or HMs. Question 5. In Professor Oak's popular show Pokemon Talk, is he on with Marie? I don't know if he's married to a younger woman. Just give me that radio card. And we won. Good thing we can now listen to the radio. Bad thing, Whitney started crying because I took the radio card before she could and I had to accompany her back to the gym. But good thing again, she didn't notice I took the badge from her while she was crying. Badge 3 secured. Our journey leads us to the National Garden, where bug catching contest is happening. I like bug Pokemon, so naturally we have to participate. In order to win, we need to capture the strongest bug type Pokemon, which is not this, nor this, no. Absolutely not. Maybe later. That's just a backup. What even is that? Not a big fan of mushrooms. Kill that Hornet. This one looks awesome. And I didn't catch it. One enemy because Apex ate all the other bugs. Further down the route we meet the dancing tree again. But this time we come prepared. I definitely needed that water can for Plant to be able to murder that tree. Ekrotik City. What a fancy name. This city has a lot to offer. Like a dancing theater, where I watched this silly dressed individual spin for 30 minutes straight, before security kicked him out because he vomited all over the floor. Do you want to know how hard it is to get buff out of fine wood? Good thing this gentleman had an emergency HM of Surf, so we could clean everything. Then we have this pond, boring. This house, double boring. And a burnt down wooden tower. That's absolutely not boring. In here we find the local gym leader and this weird friend who is only interested in chasing Suicune, one of the 3 legendary hyenas. Neither dogs nor cats, hyenas. We also meet Liar. Oh, come on. If only he wouldn't run away that fast so we could get our ID back. Back to the legendary skunk, red panda and walrus. Yes, all of these animals belong to the order of Carnivora, which means that a walrus is a dog. And I learned more about biology while writing this script than I did in 13 years of school. Where did it go? I'm pretty sure we didn't need them anyway. Let's focus on a local gym. What kind of phobia can we have in here? Listen, Morty, that friend of yours who is chasing the legendary walrus, and then he panicked, gave me the badge and kicked us out of the gym. I'll take it, I guess. Now that we don't have any weird trees blocking our way, we have a lot of ways to go. Let's start with this cave, and immediately I got run over by a gigantic hiker, who as compensation for breaking all my bones, gave me the HM for strength, so I kick his butt with my strength the next time I see him. Let's take the other route and hope we don't get run over and die. Who is that? Who wants to open a safari zone? And my private phone number, I can smell an abduction, so no thanks. Other than being abducted, there's a farm on this route with no cows being out because it's in the middle of the night. Maybe I should travel during the day. Olivine City, and I swear I will toss this Pokegear into the ocean. Here we meet Laya again. He tells us that the local gym leader is absent, but this time he doesn't straight up charge into a Pokemon battle, but leaves. I almost got his idea out of my bag. Why are all the gym leaders in this region somewhere else? It's their job to stand there and wait to be crushed forever and ever and all of eternity. Let's find her in the Lighthouse. Good thing there's an elevator. Wouldn't it be funny if we would have to battle our way up because the only important section is blocked off? Oh, come on! Alright, at least we don't have to do life-threatening stunts. You're fine. You still have half a working knee. Stupid Lighthouse. I made it. I'm here to challenge you to a Pokemon fight. What do you mean your Ampharos is sick? And you have to nurse it and want me to get medicine from a faraway island because no one else can look after that animal? Oh, don't worry. I got the right medicine for this case. Now back to the gym. In order to remind you to get your ass back to the gym, I had to perform a leap of faith and shattered all my bones. I demand proper compensation. Wasn't so difficult. The next gym leader is on that faraway island. Well, that's awkward. In that case, I could have just... Let's not talk about it. We arrive in Cyanwood City. I see neither any cyan nor wood. Only rocks and sand. There's the pharmacy. I could have picked up the medicine. That shady guy, giant TV, shelves with a lot of open glass bottles. I'm pretty sure I stepped into the hideout of a local drug cartel. Better focus on the local gym. That really doesn't give a flying ducklet about the water bill. He's so into his training he doesn't seem to notice you. That's very interesting. Reach to his pocket, slow and steady. Now that was easy. Since we now have this badge, we are allowed to fly. No more surfboard required. And we are back in Olivine. Who is Baoba? The safari zone finally opened, west of Cyanwood City, and you couldn't tell me earlier. I just came from there. Fine. Flying back. Then we walk a seemingly endless path. I just wanted to see some rare Pokemon, not ruin my feet. Here we are. How does this work? Maybe he explains it to us. If I pass the test, I become the new owner of the Safari Zone. If someone is offering you a business for free, you can be sure it's not running well. Maybe try building it closer to civilization. I straight up decline. Here's how the Safari Zone really works. We pay money, we walk in, and we can literally do whatever we want. I also want to point out that now we are allowed to interact with any kind of wild Pokemon without any further protection, because this burning duck is absolutely harmless, but this, whatever it's supposed to be, is a wanted serial killer, called the Labita while we're here by the way, feeds on soil. After it has eaten a large mountain, it falls asleep so it can grow. Might come in handy later. And if you know in what kind of epic beast this small Pokemon evolves into, then the name Main Battle Tank is absolutely appropriate. We've done everything on this side of the map. Next stop, I'm not going to enter that cave. So we bypass it. Mahogany Town. There's a typo in your town's name, by the way. A town where Christmas is celebrated all year long. Or they're just too lazy to remove that Christmas tree. There's this guy blocking the gym. By that point, I'm certain all these people are here just to annoy us. He's talking about a strange guy in a cape walking back and forth between here and the Lake of Rage. I don't care what other people do in their free time, but a guy in a cape aimlessly running between objectives sounds like a helldiver to me. I don't have any reason to check out the Lake of Rage, but let's do it anyway. Apparently there's a red Gyarados having a moment. I'm pretty sure I just want some head pats. See? Not dangerous at uh-oh. Well, at least I caught it. And then for some reason I didn't give it a stupid nickname. But I declare crisis to be averted. There's the guy with the cape. And he has an awesome Dragonite. Can I pet it, please? Only if I help him? Sure. Can I fly back to town with you? I guess not. Don't worry, I will just walk back. My feelings are totally fine. And then he just hyper beams this random shopkeeper. That was the coolest thing I've ever witnessed. I'm not directly responsible for. The fat guy is next. Then he uncovers the stairs to the basement and charges right into it. Don't worry, I'm right behind you. There's a machine sending out radio waves, making every single Pokemon a shiny Pokemon. I'm not seeing any problem with that. But the cape guy doesn't like the shiny version of his Dragonite, and I totally agree with him. Don't worry, I can turn this thing off. Whoops. Bad news, town is gone. Even worse news, the area might be a little radioactive for a little while, But good news, the local gym badges seem to be unaffected by the explosion or the nuclear fallout. Better get going. Only one badge left, and it's right past this ice cave. We cannot walk through this cave since our starter Pokemon is weak to ice-type Pokemon. Only one other way left. Alright, Larvitar, hope you are hungry. See that mountain? Dig in, and Larvitar actually eats the entire mountain. We arrive at Blackthorn City. Are you coming, Larvitar? You know what? Take your time. There is the local gym, but it could also be one of Bowser's many castles. And main battle tank crushes everything. I would like to have a badge now. What do you mean you won't give it to me? Listen here, lady. Unlike any other gym in this region, I defeated you and your Pokemon fair and square, so I'm not going to do any test by some old geezer in a dark cave. What do you think about that, huh? Maybe I should check out this exciting dragon stand, just like the scary lady suggested. Greetings, Master of the Dragons. I'm here to take the test. Question 1. What are Pokemon to you? The reason my life is purpose and is not endless suffering without the possibility of ever escaping. Question 2. What helps you win battles? Grinding. Question 3. What kind of trainer do you wish to battle? Does it matter? To me, they are all equally worthless. Question 4. What is the most important for raising Pokemon? Nature, EVs and DVs. I think. Question 5. Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon, which is more important? All Pokemon, both strong and weak, are forming a fragile ecosystem where one single instability, even small and seemingly insignificant ones, may completely destroy the balance we all need to live and then a scary lady interrupts us, gets scolded and hands over the badge. I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but I'll take it. The moment we leave the Dragon Stand, Professor Elm summons us. He never calls, he never writes, he never asks how we're doing. Only when he has a problem, we are supposed to be ready. A Master Ball? Thanks, I guess. In the last game, we had to clear out an entire skyscraper full of bad baddies by ourselves like a SWAT team. Here we get them for free after we have collected all 8 badges. Also, the Kimono girls would like to see me. I've never been this popular with the girls, so let's not make them wait. Oh look, it's Liar. I almost forgot about our IDs, and he's gone. Let's check what the Kimono girls want, and then I crush them all. What an achievement. As a reward, they give me the Clear Bell, which is required to summon the legendary Ho-Oh, the only Pokemon wanted for arson. You could have just given me the bell without the fighting, you know. We climb the tower far away from the city to not cause any fire incidents. The Kimono girls start dancing, we watch an amazing cutscene, and then challenge Ho-Oh to a duel. Here's how this went. And I did it on my first try, I promise. In order to bond with this legendary Pokemon, we should give it a special nickname. Something that always remembers us to this exact moment. So I named it 201 Resets. Yeah. Now get in the box. There's only one thing left to do before we can become Pokemon Masters. Challenge the Pokemon League. So we hop in there, go up here, get down on the other side, battle him, crush her, and reach Victory Road after an intense mountain trek. At least there are no trainers in Victory Road. Speaking of the devil, Liar wants to fight again. I crush him again. Explain that our IDs were mistakenly switched. I get back mine. Everybody's happy. Alright, the person with the name Liar may be wanted for multiple counts of theft, scamming, murder, and blowing an entire town off the map. But that's none of our concern anymore. We finally have our ID back. And all 8 badges. Time to challenge the Elite Four and become the new champion. My current team is at level 55, so this will be a breeze. The first of the Elite Four is Will, and he specializes in Psychic Pokemon. I leveled my Chikorita all the way to level 55 without evolving it, so who is the real psycho here? Too easy. Second is Koga. He used to be a gym leader, but both as gym leader and member of the Elite Four, he is a joke, so I skipped him and no one cared. Number 3 is Bruno. And that's that. Last of the Elite Four is Karen. If your original character doesn't have any interesting qualities, you just let her do this pose and all the weirdos will love her. And that statement crushed her entire existence. Only the champion is left, and it's the cape guy I robbed the unsuspicious store with. I'm still angry I wasn't allowed to pet your Dragonite. If I don't get to pet it, no one will. And that's how I defeated Lance. And as always, the media is late to capture my heroic victory. Professor O congratulates me before I could tell him I completely ignored his request to fill out his Pokédex. We enter the Hall of Fame, and my team of 4 Pokemon and the Walking Leaf goes down in history. We wake up next to our bed because a certain piece of war equipment is occupying it. Go down to greet our mom. Professor M would like to see us, but since we are the champion now, we are free to do whatever we want. So I decided to go back to bed. I'm going to rest until the next good Pokemon game is released. Might be a long slumber. In the meantime, I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I see you again when I find interesting ways to get gym badges in the digital world.